From a small town in Germany to his opulent mansion in New Zealand, Kim.com's life has been nothing short of extraordinary. A technological prodigy from a young age, he taught himself computer programming and network administration before most teenagers had even turned on their first PC. But as his ambition grew, so did his disregard for legal boundaries. A stint in prison in his native Germany for hacking government websites at age 19 only solidified his determination to push the limits, and when he moved to New Zealand, he quickly established himself as a force to be reckoned with in the world of internet entrepreneurship. But it was his next move that would propel him to international notoriety. Mega Upload. Launched in 2005, this file-sharing platform quickly gained popularity for its speed and ease of use. However, its lack of copyright protection soon drew the attention of authorities and legal experts, who saw it as a haven for piracy. Despite numerous takedown notices, Kim refused to back down, and this led to a dramatic showdown with the authorities that ended with his arrest in a heavily armed FBI raid. But even in the face of these legal troubles, Kim's supporters rallied around him, arguing that his actions were a necessary challenge to outdated copyright laws in the digital age. This conflict became more than just a legal battle. It was a war of ideologies, a fight over control and freedom in the ever-expanding world of the internet, and Kim found himself at the center of it. In this video we will explore the life of a man who became both a notorious criminal and a champion of digital rights, a man who showed that even the most powerful institutions can be challenged by one man with a laptop and an internet connection. So join us as we delve into the extraordinary tale of Kim.com, the troubled genius who dared to take on the world. As we dive into the captivating saga of Kim, let's begin our journey in the quaint German town of Kiel, where our story unfolds. Born Kim Schmidt on January 21, 1974, Kim displayed an astonishing aptitude for technology from a tender age. While other children were engrossed in typical childhood pursuits, Kim found himself inexplicably drawn to the inner workings of computers and networks. He devoured everything he could get his hands on about data and code, and by his teenage years, he had effectively taught himself the complexities of computer programming and network administration. This insatiable curiosity and remarkable self-discipline set the stage for the extraordinary journey that lay ahead. However, the path to prominence was not without its detours. In 1994, at the age of 20, Kim's life took a significant turn when he was convicted for hacking into several government websites in Germany. This controversial incident resulted in a 6-month suspended sentence, a penalty that might have deterred many, but only fueled Kim's rebellious streak. Rather than allowing this setback to hinder his progress, he used it as a springboard to cultivate an intriguing online persona, a larger-than-life character that personified the archetype of a brainy yet mischievous hacker. This carefully crafted public image garnered considerable attention from both the media and the online community, laying the foundation for a unique brand that would evolve alongside his burgeoning businesses. One cannot discuss the story of Kim without delving into his most prominent brainchild, Mega Upload. Launched in 2005, this file-sharing platform was a game-changer in the world of online content distribution. At its core, Mega Upload offered a simple yet highly effective service, allowing users to upload, share and download files of all kinds. But what truly set it apart was its sheer speed and user-friendly interface. In an era when digital content was becoming increasingly accessible, Mega Upload provided a seamless platform that resonated with millions. However, it was the lack of copyright protection on the site that catapulted it to the limelight, and subsequently into the crosshairs of authorities. Despite numerous takedown notices, Kim remained defiant, positioning himself as a champion of the free flow of information online. As the platform's popularity soared, so did the controversy. And it wasn't long before Mega Upload became synonymous with both convenience and controversy. Beyond his controversial online ventures, Kim's personal life was equally fascinating. His extravagant lifestyle was a constant spectacle, often making headlines for its sheer opulence. From his sprawling mansion in New Zealand to his fleet of luxury vehicles, Kim's lifestyle was a dazzling display of wealth that both fascinated and irked the public. His mansion, a grand testament to his success, became a symbol of everything that both attracted and repelled people about Kim's empire. As we continue our exploration of Kim's life, we must delve into the heart of the controversy that ultimately led to his downfall. The raid on his New Zealand mansion. On January 20, 2012, the world watched in suspense as a heavily armed team of FBI agents, along with local New Zealand authorities, descended upon Kim's mansion. The raid was dramatic, to say the least, with authorities seizing computers, servers, and other digital assets during the operation. The charges against him were severe, ranging from conspiracy to commit copyright infringement to money laundering. The implications were clear. The authorities were not just targeting a file-sharing service, they were going after the man behind it, Kim.com. The arrest sent shockwaves through the internet community. Supporters argued that the raid was an overzealous attempt to curb online piracy, while detractors saw it as a necessary crackdown on a notorious copyright. Regardless of one's stance, the raid marked a significant escalation in the legal troubles of both Kim and Mega Upload. In the aftermath of the raid, Mega Upload was swiftly shut down, leaving millions of users without their favorite file-sharing platform. But the battle between Kim and the authorities was far from over. Legal proceedings commenced, and the case quickly became a battle of digital titans, a fight between an individual challenging the supremacy of powerful institutions. As the trial dragged on, the spotlight shone brightly on New Zealand's legal system. Supporters of Kim argued that the case was part of a broader trend of internet censorship, while critics maintained that the charges against Kim were clear-cut violations of copyright law. The trial became a microcosm of the global debate surrounding internet regulation and intellectual property rights. At the heart of this controversy stood Kim.com, a man who had become both a folk hero and a notorious criminal depending on one's perspective. The trial's outcome hung in the balance, promising to set precedents that could shape the future of online activity. It was on that day that the weight of the accusations against him truly sunk in. Conspiracy to commit copyright infringement, money laundering, and wire fraud, all charges that carried severe penalties. The sheer magnitude of the accusations was staggering, painting a picture of an illegal enterprise that dwarfed his initial ambitions. As the trial progressed, a steady stream of witnesses took the stand, each adding another layer to the complex narrative of Mega Upload's operations. Some portrayed a picture of a reckless disregard for intellectual property rights, while others defended Kim as a misunderstood innovator caught in an outdated legal system. With each testimony, the courtroom drama unfolded like a plot from a Hollywood thriller. But it was the defense presented by Kim's legal team that truly captivated the public imagination. They argued that the prosecution's case was not just flawed, but represented an abuse of power, a cautionary tale of how unchecked authority could distort justice. This portrayal of Kim as an underdog, a man fighting against an unyielding legal system, resonated deeply with many, transforming him into a symbol of resistance against perceived oppression. As the trial neared its conclusion, the stakes became crystal clear. A guilty verdict would mean not just imprisonment, but a severe blow to online freedom and the ideals of unfettered internet access. Conversely, a not guilty verdict would be a monumental upset, potentially reshaping the legal landscape of digital rights. The jury's decision was unanimous. Kim.com was found guilty on all 13 counts. The impact of this verdict reverberated far beyond the courtroom walls. Supporters of Kim viewed it as a troubling precedent, a sign of how authorities might clamp down on online dissent and innovation. Critics, however, argued that justice had been served, upholding the sanctity of intellectual property rights. In the end, the verdict painted Kim.com as a cautionary figure, a reminder of the perils of unchecked ambition and the consequences of challenging powerful industries. After his conviction, Kim was sentenced to 20 years in prison, a punishment that seemed to encapsulate the gravity of his offenses in the eyes of the court. As he was led away to serve his sentence, the world held its breath. What would become of the enigmatic figure who had so audaciously challenged the status quo? While incarcerated, Kim's thoughts turned introspective. Away from the glitz and glamour of his former life, he had time to reflect on the choices that had led him to this point. There were no longer throngs of adoring fans or the allure of his luxurious mansion. Instead, he was confronted with the cold, hard reality of his situation. Determined not to let his legacy be defined by his downfall, Kim began to write. Drawing upon his experiences, he penned a series of deeply personal and thought-provoking letters, each word carrying the weight of his unique journey. These letters became more than just a means of passing time. They were a cathartic release, a way to express the turmoil, the regrets, and the unwavering spirit that resided within him. Through his words, we see a man grappling with the complexities of his own story, separating the myth from reality and revealing the man behind the enigma. However, amidst this introspective journey, Kim's connection to the outside world did not cease to exist. His thoughts about Mega Upload and his vision for the future continued to evolve. Despite the setback he had faced, his passion for his creation remained undimmed. As he looked back on the journey of Mega Upload, he realized that his creation had become more than just a file-sharing platform. It had evolved into a symbol of a larger movement, a movement advocating for freedom of information and the democratization of the Internet. Upon his eventual release from prison, Kim emerged with a renewed sense of purpose. The experience had been a crucible, forging a resilience and clarity of vision that was absent in his earlier years. No longer the brash young idealist, he was tempered by the hardships he had endured. Instead of succumbing to bitterness or despair, he channeled his experiences into a new chapter in his life, one focused on advocacy and enlightenment. Kim threw himself into initiatives that championed causes close to his heart, becoming a vocal advocate for those who shared his ideals. His voice, once known for audacious challenges, now carried the weight of lived experience and profound introspection. His story became a beacon for many, demonstrating that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit could endure and emerge stronger. So there you have it, the extraordinary and controversial tale of Kim.com. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Your support truly means the world to us and inspires us to keep bringing you captivating stories like Kim S. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.